welcome to my channel. It's me, Anne. I'll be tackling about the UK type of visa that I actually applied, which is the Fiancee Visa. So if you want to know more about the requirements and the process that I've been through, I'll be giving you this list of summary for this vlog to give you a recap of what to gather or what documents to gather, because obviously that's the requirements that I've submitted. So I was finally here in UK with my husband already. For the applicant, you will need your original passport, the passport bio page, cover letter, IELTS B1, which is the language test you can take in British Council, or IELTS IDP in Ortigas. I'll be giving you the address on the description below. Then you will also need a TB test. You will also need your PSA birth certificate, your PSA Cenomar as your proof that you're not yet married in the Philippines. Your NBI, which is, on my experience, it is not really required, but gives additional background for yourself that you don't have any criminal records and such. And of course, the UK application form. For the sponsor requirements, which is your fiancé, this will be the requirements that he needs to provide and gather. So the following will be sponsorship undertaking form, or SU07, which is downloadable UK immigration website. The sponsorship cover letter, which details his intentions of wanting you to come to the UK, that he will also sponsor or cover your accommodation, your welfare while in the UK, his passport bio page or his passport itself, his birth certificate, but this is not actually necessary on my case because passport for my fiancé at that time and my husband now is sufficient enough. But if you wanted to go that extra mile, you can provide it if you have it. His divorce decree, absolute letter, that is if your fiancé happens to be in a previous relationship or previous marriage in the UK, so he has to provide the divorce decree absolute letter proving that he's already divorced or that their marriage was already dissolved. But if it's in your case, like me, if I'm the Filipina who has a previous marriage before, I have to provide the annulment form or the annulment certificate to prove that I already dissolved my marriage previously in the Philippines. And lastly, he will also be needing his DBS. This is the Disclosure and Barring Service, which is equivalent to our NBI, or which looks after providing criminal record checks for employers or employees. This will be required, actually not in the online application of your fiancé visa, but this will be required by the Philippine immigration when you process your CFO, when you're about to obtain your CFO certificate, which I will tackle on the next or in my future vlogs. So we will just stick to the requirements first. So that will be your requirements basically, and your sponsor requirements. So for proof of relationship, you will also need to gather flight itineraries, hotel bookings, sponsor's passport entry or exit stamps, photos together, messenger, convos, and video calls. It can be via screenshots from your WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, if you're using Skype. So any social media related convos that you have and video calls. FB highlighted post and timeline. Your wedding provisional booking, which needs to be done as well before coming in the UK as a proof that you have the intent to marry. And the remittance receipt in case he is also providing you allowance at some point in your relationship. And the next one would be financial requirements. That would be Appendix 2 financial requirements, which you can also download in the UK website. Payslips, which is under 28 days rule, meaning to say, be within the 28 days period from the time of your application. Then backwards. So you were required to provide 6 months of his payslips starting the month that you were about to apply. So that would be technically under the 28 days ruling for the payslip submission. Same goes with the bank statements. It should be the recent one, 28 days prior or within the application time, the online application time. You will be submitting the documents backwards. So you also need his P60 and the employer letter, which also falls under 28 days category. So that means you have to request his employer letter within 28 days period prior your online application for the Fiancé Visa. And lastly, it will be the proof of accommodation. So in our case, my partner or my husband now owns the house under mortgage payment. So he provided the mortgage annual statement and the title deed. But in case your sponsor or your partner is renting, he can either provide his tenancy agreement with the landlord, proof that he is living in that apartment or in that flat, and also this should suit the home office requirements. Let's say if there will be like a 2-person, so he needs to have a 1 BR flat. But if you have other person living in the same flat, so that would depend on the number really of the individuals that's staying in the house or in the flat that he's renting at. So there are certain requirements or rooms that's or number of rooms that's required if there are more persons living in the same house. So there you go. Those were the basic requirements that from my end I submitted. It would normally take for 90 business days for the Fiancé Visa application to be processed and for you to have the result, for you to know if it is approved or rejected. If your application happened to be refused, you will be receiving an email refusal letter not later than the 90 days period, I suppose. If not, then chances are your Fiancé Visa is likely to be approved, and you also have the option to choose if you wanted to receive an update via text or delivered right to your doorsteps. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!